don't know if y'all saw it, but groceries been creeping up again. It's jumped so much in the last 5 years. Oh my goodness. I just can't. Sorry. I was about to have a surge of rage moment about the people who put us in this situation. And I'm not even talking about Mad Hatters in this case. I'm talking about the people who stayed home. They outnumbered everybody who came up to take a. They outnumbered. There were more people who stayed home than who chose any candidate. More people who stayed home than who chose a candidate. And they still say, my one little VOTE doesn't count. Mother, neither does my dollars anymore. Like, I'm like, think about it. 72 or 75 million of y'all said my little one voice doesn't count. 75 million single people said my little voice doesn't count. And somehow y'all were the biggest block. Listen. Anyway, I almost had a rage search just then because then I thought about those. It doesn't matter. It's like choosing a lesser evil over. Would you prefer Jeffrey Dahmer or a kleptomaniac? What's her name? Who was a klepto? Evil is evil, but honey, one evil means you get to survive. The other evil means your neighbors have died. Anyway. That's the other thing about it too, Suze. That's why I like try not to get too mad about it because we know there's finagling, right? Because in my ADHD deep dive during my 2 weeks of social media sabbatical, um, the difference between 2016, 2020 was in 2008, because I looked at black to black. So I looked at Obama to Harris. Then I looked woman to woman. So then I looked at Clinton to Harris. And then I looked, dim to dim. So I looked at, VP to VP. So then I looked at Biden and Harris. The numbers were way too significant. It was just way too significant of a difference. Like, when people say, they're like, well, black men say, I think it's like 78%, right, of black men voted for Harris. And I'm like, but 88% of y'all voted for Obama. Why is there a 10% difference? That's a large difference. And then I looked at the white women, and white women always hover around 50%. I don't know what's wrong. It's like, a woman, 50% of us are going to choose a man. Like, you fall for that killery shit, right? Meanwhile, these people are killing us out in the open. Let's see, killery, this. Let's see, Hunter with a laptop, this. John Kerry with 2 first names. That's literally why somebody said they couldn't choose him. This. I don't know. But yeah, so I looked at the difference. I was like, the difference is way too vast. And then, so I noticed of the two groups, of everybody who changed, it was white women and black men. And that's when I went, you know what? That's exactly where they finagled. They finagled in those two categories because they knew they couldn't touch black women's vote because that'll look too suspect. But a black man, of course, he don't want a woman. A white woman, of course, she doesn't want a black person. So those two group sets, listen, when I tell you, I wrote down these numbers, I broke them down by race, I broke them down by education, I broke them down. And I just knew, I'm like, something about this doesn't feel right. Because the minute she got in, the first group to campaign for her were white men. And it was like, white men for Harris. I was like, whoa, what? Like, immediately. Exactly. They could fill those two groups and get away with it because it wouldn't look too suspect, you know? And I think they only needed like 1% or something. And then on top of that, when we look at the number of who didn't, you have to go back to all the ones that got challenged by these white people. Like this one white lady in Georgia, I think it was Georgia. She challenged like 70 to 100,000 people by herself. Like that was an active campaign they rolled out of them going and saying, "Oh, these people can't vote." And then they have to prove why they can, but she didn't have to prove why they can't. So that was an active campaign across the country, especially in the South, especially in Texas and Georgia and Florida and Alabama and Mississippi. You know, so anyway, especially across there. And so they challenged, I think, a couple million people. I think a couple million people. Who is Abdul? And the funny thing is, I kept getting pissed off because I'm like, why am I not getting notified about these calls for Harris? Like, I want to do them. It was like, when did the Asian, it was even Asians for Harris. It was everybody for Harris, gay people for Harris, everybody for Harris. And then I'm like, this don't make no damn sense. And they're like, well, because she was hanging out with Liz Cheney. I'm like, that is not a legit reason to have said, you know what? No, never mind. She's just Dem. We'll go with the guy who wants to do a park on Gaza Strip. No, no. So everybody got manipulated, and they knew white women would get in trouble. And, you know, white men are glad to do that. And I'm not talking everybody, obviously. I'm talking about these grifting ass people up in this place. That too, Jen, like, I really, these white men in these trad wife things, they're so violent. And it's funny because as a kid, not funny, haha, but as a kid, because you know, when you're a gifted kid or whatever, you look for patterns. So I started noticing, and they don't actually display it a lot anymore, but when I was a kid, I started noticing that white men killed their women and children, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. So it was like, wait, what? And it was just this one man. Well, I guess like the Lindsay lady. There was one where this man threw his wife and kids off of a roof, off of like a parking roof. I think this was here in Miami. And so as a kid, I'm seeing this pattern like, oh, I will never marry a white man because he killed their wives and children. It's like, if you're getting divorced, just divorce. Oh, she's going to take half my money. Okay, you still got half. Shit, damn. You still got half. And she can't get the new stuff, so make more. You know, I don't know. It's just so weird. Karma, we won't let that go there. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like men are, this is a blanket statement, y'all. I obviously, as a mother of several boys, don't believe that all men are stupid. But men are so stupid. Like when I was working the poll, this, not working the poll, oh my God, what kind of call are we about to have today? All these asides. When I was at a, um, when I was at a, what you call it, precinct, and there were men asking their women, literally like, "Who are we choosing?" Girl, POLL. Okay, yeah, there were women like the men like, "Who are we choosing?" And then like you have to remember too, we have an illiteracy problem. I looked at that ballot because I take mine so I can read it and look it over and then choose. And I'm like, I went to college. I got a master's degree. I was reading at a college level and like when I was younger. I placed number one in the state on testing and stuff. What the hell did they say? Like it's not even legal-ese anymore. Like I have to run things through, um, like break it down sentence by sentence because I haven't run it through AI. I was about to say that. I'm like, but I haven't done that. But anyway, so break it down sentence by sentence, and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? Because the title of it sounds good. Do you want us to take over city contracts for park cleanup or something, right? That'll be like what the question is. But then when you're reading, it's like, and shut down access to all people for free and charge for it. And I'm like, no, wait, no, wait, no. I almost say yes because it sounded good, like liberty or patriotism or freedom. But you actually mean the opposite. Oh, okay. Because like they're shutting down libraries. But it's like buried into things like, or they're trying to, but it's like buried into things like parks and recs. And it's like, wait, recs, recreation. Oh my God, that's everything that we have in the city for kids and people to use. No, damn it, no. You know, yeah, they're so complex. And then for, primary, you're looking at all these people and you're like, who the hell are y'all? Like, I don't know you. And then you also have to take into account that these algorithms are heavily suppressing people. So now I'm just now seeing people running for Florida things, and I'm just now seeing a squeak of a black person. And then I'm like, what? Because these are homecoming contests. That's all voting is for people, is a homecoming test. And homecoming is based off of the name you've heard the most. It's name recognition. Mm-hmm. Oh man, you used to call your dad to ask him how. Well, that's great because he was smart. Yeah, like I just need that former Republican lady, the one who gets a lot of shares and conversation and engagement, as she's now coming to enlightenment about everything. I just need her to tell me who to vote for. Like, listen, I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this. Can you read this for me, please? Because they just make it so complicated for no reason. Mm, yep. Okay. So hold on before we do the bell, so we can get to this Cassidy question. Yeah, and it's weird looking at people that you love or used to respect or whatever, and you're like, what the freak is wrong with you guys? I could not have been a bad judge of character.